Hello again, everyone. Yes, this is a VR doing the rounds. I think it was started by Tony Fighter 2, but it somehow got to Eddie, who has tagged me, so Rollercore has tagged me in it. And it's just 10 questions. Just answer about like what type of gamer you are. We're working on borrowed time here, because I've had to turn the fans off, and it's bloody roasting in here. So, there may be jump cuts, because I haven't written these questions down, so I'm going to have to keep switching between screens on my computer to find out what they are. Question number 1. What kind of games do you like to play? Well, that's really easy. It's horse games. Everyone loves a horse game. Now let's do this properly. A bit of anything really. Mostly I play like racers. It doesn't have to be arcade or sim. I enjoy both. I play both pretty much equally. Anything racing. I've got a racing rig set up downstairs, which I haven't used in a while. Mainly because there's not that many games that like actually support it. It's mostly the sim stuff. Like you can't be playing like Crash Bandicoot, like tag team racing, whatever it is. Crash Nitro Kart Refueled is the word I'm looking for. That doesn't work with it unless they've updated it. I haven't looked in a while. There's a tiny little fly going around in here, so if that goes past the screen and it looks gigantic, it's literally like a little fruit fly. Other than that, other than racers, it's like rhythm games. I absolutely adore rhythm games. So Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, DJ Max, even the crappy ones that like no one's ever heard of, like Rock of the Dead. I like Rocksmith as well, even though debatable whether that's a rhythm game. Yeah, what else is there? Again, Band Fuse, that's a bit debatable. Yeah, Power Gig. I've never played Guitaru Man. That's one I've always wanted to play. Yeah, I should get around to playing that. Even weird ones like Aero, that's a good game. Musinx, that's another really good one. Demo is a really good one. Yeah, just shit like that. And mostly as well, just like retro style, like modern retro games. I play a lot of them, like Sea of Stars for like RPGs. There's that fly you just went past. That might have been a bigger one. Where the fuck did he come from? Oh god, there's 2 in here. That's what happens living near a field with a door open and a window open, which I've had to shut because it's hot. So, no, not because it's hot, because the sound comes in, and I don't want people to realise I'm making a YouTube video outside. I don't want people to know that. What was I talking about? I can't remember. I'm on holiday, so I've had a beer or 2. What was I talking about? I really can't remember. Modern retro games, that was it. Yeah, stuff like Infonax, which is like a nigh on perfect platformer. It's like it's not Metroidvania, it's more Wonder Boy-ish, I guess, but worth playing. Things like Blazing Chrome, that's real good if you like Contra kind of games. Just loads of stuff like that. Anything with a bit of a modern twist, but a retro aesthetic. I like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to stop this, come back in a second with question 2, because I'm going to have to do it for every question, because it'll get annoying, and I don't want to cut too much. I'd rather the computer cuts it for me by pressing stop, because I'm a lazy bastard. Question 2 is, how much time on average do you spend playing video games? It depends. Average day, if I'm not knackered from work, I probably try to squeeze in about 3 hours. I usually game from like 9 till about 12 o'clock at night. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Sometimes a bit further. Sometimes I'll play a bit before, like downstairs on the modern stuff. But yeah, the weekends, pretty much my entire weekend. If I'm not going out doing anything with people, I'll just be playing video games. So, from the time I get up, probably 9 a.m. till 12 o'clock at night. So, I do smash through a lot of stuff. I complain that I don't have time to do stuff. It's because I'm playing games. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. But yeah, I enjoy it. I play everything, so everything in my collection I intend on playing, so got to squeeze it in somehow. Time on this earth is finite. Okay, question 3 is, do you think video games can be educational? Yes, completely and utterly. A game I alluded to earlier, Rocksmith, is a game that can teach you to play guitar, or the bass. I have literally learnt to play this instrument because of that game. I can't say I'm good at it, but I've only put in the time that I've been able to play with it. But yeah, much better than if I tried to learn myself or anything. Much better. But I'll take another different angle to this as well. Every day I do Duolingo to learn Japanese. I'm not going to do any here because I don't want to embarrass myself. But you might say that's an app, but it is gamified. It has high scores, leaderboards, achievements, just all that kind of stuff. It's got a competition base to it. So I'd consider that a learning-based game. So yeah, that kind of stuff. There's also ones like Lingo Deer and Drops I use as well for Japanese. But there's also ones that can teach you things like programming. Off the top of my head, I think Encode is one. I can't remember the others off the top of my head. But there's just these apps which have a gamified version of things. So yeah, I think video games can most definitely be educational. Question 4 is, what don't you like about video games? The easy one to say is live service stuff. I hate the fact that if I'm playing a game, I pause it, go to the bog, come back, it's logged me out because I was inactive for 30 seconds. That pisses me off. The fact that, well, it's not even paused, is it? It just brings up a map usually or something you're doing. That really gets to me, and the fact that these games just vanish when they turn the servers off. Yeah, I can't be dealing with that. I have signed the Stop Killing Games petition, even though that is it's quite ludicrous when you look into it. It would be a very difficult thing for them to implement, but god damn it should happen. Yeah, a lot of people don't think it should happen. But other than that, my biggest bugbear is unobtainable achievements in games. I'm a big achievement hunter, trophy hunter. I think if your game, it has a lifespan, you shouldn't put things that are tied into playing in the first year or something. Because if that game fails, you just end up with nothing. And you could sit there with a platinum trophy you want. You'll never get it because you can't. I know there are people bringing servers back online, but you'd have to use modded consoles and things to do that, which then could get you banned just because you want to unlock a trophy in a game, so I don't do any of that. But it should be that they should at least update trophies to be available, achievements, trophies and that to be available when the servers go offline. Even, I don't know, some people say that might go against what people had done. So if you've done something stupid played 500 hours of a multiplayer game and unlocked an achievement from it, and you went to play something and you could get it in single player by saying kill 50 enemies, that would be a bit of a piss take, wouldn't it? You'd have to have something that was of an equal skill level, so to make it the same type of achievement, if that makes any sense. I don't know, I'm waffling, I'm beer waffling. But yeah, that's my biggest one, I think, is unobtainable achievements. I'm not going to complain about the price, because if you want someone, you got to save for it, and yeah. I'm not good at that, though. Question 5 is, how much do you spend on video games? This one's a bit difficult, because I try to limit myself to about £100 a month. So what that is, though, I usually use that to buy, not a big hitter, but a bigger game for the collection. And then the rest of the stuff I might pick up £5-10 games here and there. But I do that using CEX credit and stuff. Or yeah, just moving stuff on to get other bits. So I try to keep it quite low. It always looks like I spend quite a lot of money, and I don't really. There is I'm quite a in the now collector, if that makes sense. I don't sit all my time on eBay looking for stuff. If there's something I think I really want that, I will try to get it. But yeah, it'll be, I don't know, I'll wait till it turns up or something. Unless it's really, really scarce and there's only a couple on eBay, then I might buy it. But most of my stuff is I get a tip off that something's turned up in a shop. I think, I'll go get that now because it's the only time they're going to have it. Or something like that. So yeah, there are months it'll go over, but I try to keep it with credit and like not real money, if that makes sense. A lot of the stuff comes from charity shops and doesn't really cost much. So yeah, I try to keep it about 100 quid because I think that's a fair amount. You go above that, it starts getting a bit mad. So yeah, I know people spend way more, but I've amassed a decent decent collection with just trying to stick to that. See, it's all about discipline, isn't it? I don't have discipline. Question 6 is, what's your favourite video game console? Does that mean to play or to collect for? If it's to play, it'll most likely be the Xbox 360. It's just the library is bizarre. Some of it gets into some strange territory. I love I don't like AAA games. I like those AA kind of games that tried, but they're incredibly janky, that kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. And the 360 is absolutely full of it. But if it was to collect for, that's different. Like, I love to collect for the Vita. It's so bizarre. There's games on there that you won't see anywhere else ever. A lot of them have been ported to the Switch now, but yeah, if you go into the Japanese market of that, weird stuff. Like, genuinely weird stuff. But yeah, if you want an actual, like, a home console to collect for, strangely, it's probably the PS4. Only because now I think is the best time to be buying PS4 games. It is incredibly cheap, unless you're buying Godzilla. But yeah, most of it is a couple of pounds, and the quality and just vastness of the library just basically outweighs the cost of it. Plus, most of the indie stuff that you saw on the Xbox, which was like digital only, got physical releases on there, so it's worth picking them up if you want a physical collection. Plus, most of the PS4 stuff does seem to be on the disc. I do check. There's a website called... I'm going to forget what it is. If I remember it, I'll put it at the bottom. Which tells you how much of a game is on a disc, whether or not you can play it without like updates and things, which is pretty useful. I've mentioned it before, so it's just annoying me I can't remember it now. I did see they had some issues the other day. Hopefully it hasn't shut down. I don't know. There was that fly again. That was the tiny one. Fuck knows where the big one's gone. Eh. Question 7 is, what is your favourite video game? Well, I can probably try to show this by just holding up these. Silent Hill 2. Got a couple copies of it, you see. No, it's just, I love horror. I love survival horror. When this came out, it was really early in the PS2 life cycle. I loved everything about it. The characters, the setting. I really enjoyed the first Silent Hill, but this was something different. This was something you hadn't seen before. The characters it was all very adult, even though I wasn't an adult when I was playing it. It was more, I don't know, everything about it was weird. It had like a kind of dreamlike vibe to it, but with all the characters, which were, you could tell they were incredibly human and broken, but everything was like emotionless. It was really bizarre, and I spent years after playing all the Silent Hills, to be honest with you, like on forums and stuff, reading fan theories, playing like PC versions of the games, going through them slowly, looking at just like textures, seeing the strange things they put into the game that you weren't expecting, like one of the bodies you find in one of the in the apartment is like yourself, but you wouldn't think of that unless you know it. The same as like you have to pick up the place where you pick up the flashlight. I think it's the flashlight for the so you can see. You take it off of a mannequin which is wearing your dead wife's clothing. It's all that small stuff in it that just made it a game that was like more than a game to me. And yeah, I used to play through it like at least once a year, maybe twice. I haven't recently. I need to get back onto it. I have pre-ordered the remake of it, and I'm genuinely worried about it. I know people are saying it looks good, but there's things in it that it feels like from the trailers they've taken things out. They've taken what felt like that dreamlike aspect away from it. It feels like some of the dialogue from the characters is a bit watered down, like from the bit where Eddie's talking about shooting a dog, which is genuinely like, that's pretty psycho if you shoot someone's dog. But they go through that section of the game and he doesn't mention that bit. I don't know if he will. I don't know. It feels like it might be a bit watered down. It does look beautiful. Characters don't look beautiful. The characters are weird looking. Like, I don't know. The characters don't sit right. They look strange, but the actual world and everything looks amazing in it. But yeah, I'll play through that. I actually might stream that when it comes, because I don't know. I don't want them to massacre one of my favourite games. I really don't. It didn't need a remake. It didn't need a HD remaster either. That was fucking dreadful. But yeah, Silent Hill 2, genuinely greatest game ever made. I'll die on that hill. Okay, I'm going to have to switch the next few questions round for a reason. So what would have been question 9 is now question 8. So it's, who is your favourite video game character? Whether or not I can class him as a character, I don't know. He's an enemy. It is Red Pyramid Thing, aka Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. Everything about him is literally, it's the embodiment of terror for me. You in other games you have big hulking masses that come after you, like Mr. X. He's just a dude in a trench coat. Like, Pyramid Head is something that is just, the flies in front of my face, that is just, I don't know. And everything, his reason for being in the game is genuinely impressive. He's there to like judge people. He's an executioner. He's all different things. It's I don't want to go into why he's so good, because if people are going to play the Silent Hill remake, I don't want to ruin the story, if that makes sense. But he is like one of the best characters in a game for me. If you can't class that as like a video game character, hopefully I can chuck this extra one in and it will count. So the extra one is Psyduck. Yes. I need to put a Pokemon in there. He is my favourite Pokemon of all time. I don't know why. I resonate with this weird duck that doesn't really do much. To be honest, he reminds me of my girlfriend. She suffers from migraines, so she's my Psyduck. That's lame. I'm sorry, but yeah, if I can't have Pyramid Head, I'll have Psyduck. Okay, what would have been question 8, which is now my question 9, is what's your favourite video game movie? This is very Silent Hill focused, but it's Silent Hill. The reason why I switched these round is because going with the story of that, Pyramid Head is in that movie, and he shouldn't be. Like, there's so much stuff in that movie that shouldn't be there, which just breaks the lore of the whole of Silent Hill. But aesthetically and everything about it, it worked pretty well as like an adaptation of a video game, I guess. Like, I also really like the original Super Mario Brothers movie, but it's not as close to the game, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the Silent Hill movie which just doesn't work. They replaced the fog with like smoke and ash coming from like a fire burning under the town. They based it off of Centralia. I can't remember, is it in Pennsylvania? I don't know where Centralia is, but it's in America somewhere, which has a coal fire burning underneath it. And the whole town got evacuated, and your feet melt if you like, your shoes melt if you walk on it and that kind of stuff. But even with all its flaws and bits that shouldn't have happened, that like there shouldn't have been no bobblehead nurses in it. Like, they were in Silent Hill 2 because it was James's like sexual frustration coming out, and it was just manifestations of his guilt, his everything in that town. So yeah, there was no reason for them to be in the movie. Pyramid Head gets chucked into everything now, though, for like just fan service. He's in Dead by Daylight. To be honest, I don't mind that he's in Dead by Daylight, because that's just chucking horror things all together. But he ends up in loads of other stuff. Like, he's in Homecoming, Why is he in Homecoming? No idea. Yeah, that was it. That's the reason why I had to switch them around. Otherwise, that would have made no sense. Saying why my favourite movie also contained my favourite character, but I hate the fact that my favourite character is in that movie. That makes no sense. But don't watch Silent Hill Revelations. That's actually dreadful. There's actually a new Silent Hill movie coming out, which I think is done by the same as the first, like Christopher Gans, like the guy from who did the first one. But he was in jail for something, wasn't he? He may have done something bad. I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. No accusations here. And question 10. What is your least favourite type of game? I'm going to be really boring. It's sports games. All of them. Absolutely every single one of them. Football. American football. To be honest, I can get through basketball games. Golf. Still not too bad. Most of them, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I can't watch that stuff in real life. I can't play that stuff in real life. Why would I want to play a computer version of it? And the fact that they release so many, and they're exactly the same. Like, I can get behind an arcadey version or something. Anything done by the old EA big stuff, like the FIFA Street, that's good. Was NHL Hits done by them? They were pretty good, actually, the NHL Hits. But to be honest, most just sports games, they're shite, aren't they? I don't know. The only reason I own them is if I'm full collecting for something, or if I need a case replacement. So that's the way I see them. They're case replacements. And then they started putting those stupid shiny stickers on the front of the cases. They're a right bastard to get off. But never mind. They do come off. It's just a bit of work. So yeah, that is the 10 questions. I'm not too sure who I'm going to tag. Give me a couple minutes to think about it. Okay, about a couple minutes to think about it. So, first person I'm going to tag is just an old school tag, the one I always go with. It's going to be Big Game Al, only because I know he records videos like 8 months in advance, and I want to see if his VR turns up literally 3 years down the road or something. The second one is somebody who pops up on my feed all the time, and from what they put up, they're a big survival horror fan. There's a certain game they like to talk about a lot. So I want to know if they actually respond to this. It's Kale. He's the man who bought Kuon. That's that's the way he's known now. He's a much bigger channel than me. He's not going to give a fuck about this. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to bugger off now. Have fun, people.